What is going on, warriors? Jose Garza here, your Devil Doc. And in this video series, we're going to be talking about what you should do or the actions you should take if you receive a denial letter from the VA. So you've been waiting several months and you got a notification. You go in your va.gov account and you see that the VA has denied your claim. What you thought was a slam dunk service connected disability has been denied. So let's get to it and let's get you back on your way.
Okay, warrior brothers and sisters, the first thing that I want you to do is take a deep breath. Believe me, I know the feeling. I know how badly this sucks, but it's not over, right? I'm going to show you what you need to do to fight this decision and hopefully get you a service connection for your disability. So the VA wants you to believe that you have three options if your disability claim has been denied. One is the VA appeals hearing. The second one is a higher level review. And the third one is a supplemental claim. But before we get into which one of those three you should choose, I want you to pull up your VA denial letter and look at a couple of things, because this is going to determine which of the three options you are going to choose. Okay, what you're looking at here is a section of one of my denial letters. So yours is going to look a little bit different, of course, because you would have submitted for different disabilities than I did. So the decisions here are going to show that your claims have been denied. But what I want to point out here, and why I included that decision section there, is because the evidence section was kind of split onto this page. So what I want you to start to look at is what evidence was used to determine the denial. So what you can see here is the first real piece of evidence that the VA used was my DD 214, which basically outlines when I entered the military and when I left the military. Now what we're looking at is the second page of that evidence list. So there are several things that I am going to point out here that you should be aware of on your evidence list that you should have submitted and that should be listed in your denial letter. The first thing you can see here is that I filed the 210966, which is the intent to file form. And you can see that I filed that on February 8th of 2023. Next is my 526 EZ claim form plus the 4138, which were filed on the same date at the same time. So always do that. Always file a 4138 with your 526. Make sure that your story is read in your own words. And here are also a couple things that I want to point out. These are your Terra Memo notifications on your personal file. So if you are a war veteran and you are looking to get some of those presumptive disabilities, you want to make sure that these types of notes are included in your evidence list. Okay, and lastly, what I wanted to point out on this particular claim, you can see here that the VA had determined that the records from one of my medical clinics could not be located, and therefore they were unavailable for review. So I was not too happy about that, and I figured that this may have been why these claims were denied. So I submitted a supplemental and submitted an additional 4138 to let them know that I was going to be retrieving those records myself and submitting them for the supplemental claim. Okay, warrior brothers and sisters, that is it for this video. I am going to try to keep these things sweet and short, but take a look at your evidence list. Take a look at my evidence list and see if there's anything on there that may trigger something for you for your claim, and see if something is missing, if something, like in this case, was not found and was not available for review. And then we'll talk about making the decision on which way you should go as far as a supplemental claim or a higher level review. And ultimately, not one of my favorites, but the VA appeals hearings. So, okay, folks, we will talk soon and look for that next video. You guys have a good one.